Hi guys, my name is Rodrigo Ortega and I will be presenting the Type Presets tool. After you install it on your library, you will find it on the content browser, Type Preset, and then you have two options, the Type Presets and the Type Presets MoGraph and Dynamics module. Let's start with the Type Presets. I will just drag and drop here, or you can double click it. To access the options, you have to select the Type Presets object. Then you have the options here on the attributes. Okay, the first option is the spline. You can drop your own spline here. I'm using a text. I advise you to not delete this object here. But if you want to use your own spline, you can just drag and drop it here and it will update. Okay. Then you are free to put it in here inside the TP objects if you want. And if you want to access it easily when you are changing the setup here, you can double click here and it will select your spline. Let me go back with the text and delete the flower. So once again, you can double click here and you have access to your text object where you can change the font, the height, spacing, kerning, and everything else as you normally do. Go back here and I will freeze this. The next option here is the presets. It's where you can select one of the presets, and some of them are just size variations of the same preset. As you can see, and feel free to explore it and see what we have here. Okay, if you want to change the preset to your own taste, you have to go to the custom. So you first select the preset that you want to work with, and then select the custom. If you don't do that, let me go to the regions. I can't change anything. It will go back. Okay, so go to custom and now I can change. Okay. If you want to start fresh, you just have to go to reset and then custom. Once again, if you stay on reset, you can't change. Okay, so go to reset and then custom. Now you can start working on your own effect. So let's see what the options are. The first one is to hide the extrusion. The way it is now, it's useless, but you will see that it can be useful. Second one is the scale. It will scale the entire effect. Let me show you. If I put a rectangle outline, bring it to the front, and if I try to scale this, it will not keep the same effect that we had before. So to do that, you have to use this scale here. Okay. The next option is the fillet steps. We don't have any fillet size now, so let me put some fillet here and turn on the line. And as you can see, we can put some subdivision on the fillet, and when you change the fillet type, you can see the effect. Okay, so the fillet size view, you put the fillet and you can adjust the size of the fillet. The extrusion depth is the next option, and extrude subdivision is where you can change the subdivision of the extrusion. Right now it has no effect, but if you use the band that we have here, or if you put your own deformers, it will help to have the best look possible. Okay, so the next one is the fillet type. We have linear. Let me change the shading here. Linear, convex, concave, half circle, one step, two steps, and then the engraved. Okay. And you can adjust the size. Now, you may notice that we are increasing the font size. Let me change to the convex. If you don't want to increase the size of the font, you have to enable the constraint. We'll try to constrain to the size of the font. You may run into problems when you go higher than the space that you have here. So as you can see, sometimes you can fix these holes here, enabling the band. But as you can see, it corrects that, but there's a problem here. So you have to try to change the fillet size. As you can see here, we have a hole, and when I enable the band, it will close. Right now we don't have any strength to the band, so it will not do anything besides correct this. And what it's doing, it's changing the way the cap works here to a regular grid. Okay, let me go back. Let me just show you again. When I enable the band, it will change the cap to the regular grid. Okay, let me go back here, and the next option we have is the outline. In the outline, you can select some of the pre-made outlines. We have rectangle and side profile and arc, and you can also use a custom spline that you can put here. I will show you. First, the rectangle, and you can adjust the size, the position offset, and when you first create it, it will be on the middle of the extrusion. So if you change the size here, the depth, it will automatically go to the middle there, and you can position it. If you have 100 units here, you can put minus 50, then you have it on the edge here, and you can adjust. Okay, the count here is where you can clone it. Let me change the position offset to 0, and you can put more of the same rectangle outline. Then you can offset it to make it closer or the opposite, and you can change the position offset. Then we have the rounding, and you can round it or you can chisel it like that. Chisel or round it. And this is the rectangle. Now we can go to the inside, and basically it works the same but with an inside profile. So we can change the size and the number of the sides. Let me just hide the extrusion to see better. So now we have 3 sides, 4, 5, 6, 7, and goes till the time where you end up with cylindrical shape. So let me bring it to 4, bring the size up here, and you can offset like we did it with the rectangle, and also clone it, offset the clones same as if we did there, and rounding as well, but we just have the option to be rounded and not chiseled. Okay, this is really useful to catch the highlights here, and it will look very good. Okay, next one is the profile, and you have some options here to work with, and let's change its parameters so we can see the effect, like so. And we have an option here that's symmetry, because we have some shapes that are like the L shape. Let me change the size here so we can see it better. So if I change the count here, let me put 2, it will be facing the same direction. If I want to have a symmetry, I can bring it to 1 again and turn on the symmetry. And if you want to the symmetry be flipped, you just have to change the position offset and you have it. And you can use the clone as well. And let me change turn off the symmetry, position offset, bring to 0 again, and we have this, and you can do something like this. Also work with the symmetry and the clone. Okay. Next one is the arc. Where you can define the start angle and the end angle, like so, and do something like this. You can add symmetry, you can offset it to be the opposite side, and you can clone it as well and offset it. Okay. Next one is the custom. You can drop your own spline here, and then you can offset it and clone it and change the space between them and then the position offset as well. And you can double click here. Oh, it's not working like this one. Oh, it's locked there. Double click, so you go to your spline and you can change the way it looks. Okay, like that. Then we have the multiple bevel. So let me turn off the outline. And this is a simple effect, but I think it's really cool. You can add some copies of your extrude, and then when you turn up the fillet size, it will make it bigger, so you can offset it and have some cool effects like this one, this, and you can change the fillet type here as well, and change the fillet steps, and when you increase the count number, it will automatically be positioned in the way it will grow to the back, and when you offset it, it will act like that. Okay. And the fillet size will do something like this, and you can change to linear or concave, and half circle, 1 step, 2 steps. Some of them will not be useful, but you'll gain another step here in the front with 2 steps, and also engraved. It will not be seen here, but if you bring it to the front, or maybe if you hide the extrude, you will see that, and you can use something like this. Change the size and the step. So you have here 2 steps, 1 step, half circle, and you can bring this up. So it's a really nice effect. And I forgot to mention the materials here. For every object that we have in this preset, I have one material applied, so it will be easier for you to change it. Like the multiple bevel, I have 5 levels, so M bevel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I want to change this bevel, multiple bevel in the front here, I can do that. Or if I want to apply a custom material, like maybe let me put a noise here. If I want to do that, I can just drop there, or maybe I can drag and drop and use the letter, the key, the Alt key. While I drag and drop, I hold the Alt key, and it will change the icon there. So I can drop, and it will change it to that. So there you have it. Let me go back here. So the same goes to the extrude here. You have this material and you can change it. Okay. And the other effects as well, like the, let me turn off the multiple bevel, turn on the rectangle, so the outline is green here. It's the green material here, and you can change it, drag and drop your own material like I said, and that's it for the materials. Okay, so that was the multiple bevel, and now let me go to the clone edge. And the clone edge and the clone extrude and the edge wrap will need another object. So basically we will clone a object in the over the object here. So I created a torus, and I will drag and drop on the object here over the clone edge, and I will enable it, and let me change the orientation. If this will look better. And let me change the size here. Okay, and something to, if you want to hide the the original object there, put it, if you try to hide here, it will hide from the effect as well. So put it inside the null and hide the null. Now we can go back here, and so here's where we enable it. And I'm facing some viewport problem here. Let me clear this, make it visible. Okay, hide that. And the next option here is the step, is where you change the distance between them. And it will go to 1 centimeter, but you can go down. You can type whatever value you want, but be careful with that. And it goes to 100, but you can go up as well. And you can turn on render instance and turn off. And the count over here is where you can put another level, and you can change the distance between them with the offset. Okay, and here you can offset them, or you can turn the loop so it will just move like that. You can do an offset variation, or you can change the start and the end. And you can also put a rate so it will animate, and you can turn a loop so it will never break. You can do some variations as well, change the random seed, and you can add your MoGraph effectors here, like the random effector. And let's change the parameters here. Like that. Okay. You can change the totals, so you can have something to look like a spaghetti or something like that. And of course you can change the font to be more thin, like this one. And let's change the text to spaghetti. And change the... We can now go to the options and hide the extrude. We don't need that. So we have... And let me bring the offset here closer. And change the count. Have it closer here. Maybe just 2 of them, or even 1. Let me keep it with 2. And change the radius. Yeah. Oops. And the clone edge material is this blue here. You can change it to look more like an spaghetti. Okay, just an example of what you can do. So that was the clone edge. Let me turn off. Oh, and the clone extrude will work similar, but it will not be cloning in the edge of the object. Well, I have some issues with the viewport here. Let me go to the clone edge here, disable it. Yeah, it was enabled. So disable the clone edge. Let me clear this and go to the clone extrude. Let me go back with the text here. Change the font. So the clone extrude, let me enable it and put our torus there. And actually let me delete this one. Let's do it the capsule. Bring it here and put here. And let's change the alignment here. Okay, like that. So it's not cloning. Like, let me just turn off the extrude, turn on the edge, and put the capsule here. So let me turn off the random and change the orientation here to Y. So what's happening here? It's cloning on the edge, right? On the edge of the object, and you can bring the count up so you can fill this space like that. You can do something like that. Okay, this is the clone edge. The clone extrude, it will clone our custom object here on the volume of the extrusion. So you can turn on or turn off the render instance and change the count 0 to 100, but you can go up as if you want. Okay, and you can change the random seed and add your effector like that. Okay, and then you can hide the extrusion as well. And to hide the original capsule there, or the original object, you put it on a null and hide the null. And it should work, but it's not working. Maybe let me go back here. Okay, we have to clear from the clone edge as well. Okay, now it's there, and when you hide the null, it's gone. Okay, so this is the clone extrude. Let me clear this and turn off, bring our extrusion back, and let's do the edge wrap. Delete this and this one, and bring a cube, and let me bring it down and put some segments here. What this will do, it will wrap around our edge here, whatever object we put here. So it's wrapping. Now I can add a fillet radius here, 1/6 subdivision. Let me see here. I need more white segments, and this I don't need as much. And we can offset it, change the from and to, change the size, can add another point here, change the size in the middle, like that, or in the both start and end. The same goes for the spline, it will work the same, and we can bank and we can rotate it like that. Okay, so this is another option that we have, the edge wrap. You can hide the extrude to just have the edge wrap, and you can wrap anything you want, like maybe the landscape. I saw a tutorial about an effect, and you can put the landscape here, and let me try this. Okay, let me put inside a subdivision surface, and the thing is, it will not change anything. What you have to do is to put the subdivision surface here, and it will work. And to hide the original, put it on a null and hide the null. Delete this cube. So now you can work with that, change whatever you want, and you can turn off the subdivision so you can work faster. And change the banking, and you can animate the offset, or maybe make it grow. Okay, this is a really nice effect, and it works better with also a thinner font like this one maybe. Okay. So this is the edge wrap. Let me clear this, turn it off, and I want to show you the band deformer. Delete this and let's work with the band deformer. When you enable it, nothing happens. You have to put some strength here and you can change the angle to have this kind of effect here. But let me try this. You can do this, but I want to bend it so the extrusion goes up or goes down. So what you want to do is to turn on the other direction. And now we need to increase the extrusion subdivision. So let me show you. So it will be better like that. Let me go crazy here and change the shading. So now you have it and you can change the size whatever you want, and you can make something like this. Okay, and of course it will work with your presets. So let me change to let me see. Okay, no. Yeah, this one you can see. So let me turn on the, oh, I'm sorry, we have to go to the custom and turn on. But now I need more subdivision and I need to increase the depth. 2000, yes. But it's not doing automatically this. You have to go to the outline. We have the green color here, so it's an outline object there, and the goes to the rectangle, I guess. Yeah, and now you can put something like it was 50 here and 60 here, so we need to go to something like this. Oh, you have some. Okay, what we can do is to increase the count. Let me see what's happening here. And the offset minus 500 minus 1000. And let's put 1000 here. Yeah. We can go to 1000. So if I put one more, yeah, with 2 we will open a hole right there, so we can put 3 and we have the same effect. But I will change the limit here. Don't worry about that, it will be working. I have fixed this problem here where the width and height of the rectangle was limited to 1000, but now you can go up to probably whatever you want. And what we can do is to add more effects, more deformers, right? But to do so, let me bring this down a bit and turn off the tangle here. And we can add more deformers here, but for do that we need to access the objects here. To do so, you go to layers and you turn on the M here. So this is hiding a lot of stuff here. I highly recommend you to not mess with that, but if you want to add more another deformer, you have to place it in the right spot. So let me show you. For instance, the twist, you place it here inside the geo, and you can add it before or after the bend deformer. So let me turn off the bend and work with the twist. I will put some twist here, but not this. I want something like, let me change the orientation here. Yes, I want something like that, but I don't want to be limited, unlimited. Bring this over here. So now we have our twist, and once again, if you're not seeing this work, you have to change the subdivision. If you have something like that, it's not working, you come here and change your subdivision. Okay. So now we have our twist. And you can change the parameters here, whatever you want. And we can turn on our band enable. Let me see when I put it before, or you have different effects. Okay, so let me put before. Then we have our twisted and bended object here, and you can add your outline, your rectangle here, for instance, and do whatever you want. Okay, so this, I think this is it for the type presets. Let me do a full reset here and delete the twist and hide the other stuff here. Okay, this is it for the type presets, and I will be back showing the MoGraph and Dynamics module here. Okay, this one. Thank you guys.